when we will see God face to face in heaven, in all His glory, in all His wonder, and all His majesty, then falling down at His feet and worshipping Him will be our automatic, spontaneous response. Nobody will have to tell us to do it, and nobody will push us to do it. But here on earth, we have a choice, a free will given to us by God to worship Him or not to worship Him. It is easy to worship God when He has answered our prayers, when He has healed us, when He has provided for us in various ways and means beyond our comprehension. At such times, worship flows out of our heart spontaneously and very easily. But when we are facing situations, when we are surrounded with darkness, when we can't see even a step before us, when our prayers have been very long in waiting to be answered, when a healing is not yet manifested in our bodies, when the prayers of our loved ones, for our children, for our family, even after praying for a long time, has not been answered. In such situations, we have a choice to make. Do I worship God in these dark situations in my life, or do I grumble, murmur, or complain against God? Precious saints of God, these kind of moments are very precious in our lives when we choose to worship God in spite of our situations and circumstances. And this is the kind of worship that touches the heart of our Heavenly Father very deeply. And to touch the heart of our Heavenly Father in this manner is only possible while we are here on this earth. And when we choose to worship God in the most difficult and most darkest situations in our lives, it is then when God silences the whole of heaven to hear the worship coming out from the mouth of His smallest child who is worshiping Him in spite of his difficult situations and circumstances. And He tells the angels around Him, "See, do you see that child of mine? He's worshiping me in spite of his difficulties." That is the kind of worship that I long for. That is the kind of worship that touches my heart, and that is the true worship. He tells His angels, "Here in heaven, you cannot but worship me when you see me in my glory and in my splendor. But I value my children more who worship me in spite of their difficulties and in spite of their dark situations." Friends, to touch the heart of our Heavenly Father in this way, we have this opportunity only while we are here on this earth. When difficulties come in our lives, use them to express our deepest worship and praise to God. Don't waste your sorrows. You may never have any other opportunity here on this earth to worship God in this manner. Worship does not mean singing songs in church with a worship team and with instruments. Though these are wonderful times, worship can also take a form of little deeds of kindness that we do for others while somebody else has been unkind to us. Worship can also be the acts of sacrifices we do to let God know that we love Him. Worship can even be our humble submission and total obedience to God, even when we can't see the big picture. It shows our complete trust and dependence on God's goodness and His faithfulness. That, my friend, is true worship, according to John 4:23.